Cars. I love cars. Oh, I'm not talking about those cars. I'm talking about the weird cartoon character cars of the Pixar movie Cars, released over 20 years ago, I think. Yeah, this video is going to be about cars, specifically the culture, the world, and possibly what they have inside the cars. And I'll be discussing theories about what I think of cars as a universe and trying to explain what this weird and confusing world of Pixar's cars really is. So let's begin with the biology. So, as a fellow creator, Matt Pat has pointed out in his channel Film Theory, which was also a video that was released a long time ago, it says that cars are like insects or like beetles who have this car like outer shell, and in the inside they're organic creatures. So, I think it's similar, but my version is like cars are like a organism that is living inside a car shell, but this organism doesn't have any limbs and it's basically a blobfish, but it's not a fish, obviously. So my theory is that there were no animals and there were only these blobfish like characters, and there are different species of these blobfish like stuff, and these differ into cars and other animals. So, in the Cars universe, we can see other animals like birds, who are planes, and deers, who are actually John Deere tractors, and cows, which are other tractors, bulls, which are bulldozers, bulldozer, bull, like that. And we can see that there are whales, which are submarines, and as I mentioned before, planes are birds, and we'll get to the commercial planes again. So that means that cars in this universe are equivalent to humans. So I think that cars are made like they have like different species. So apparently the blobfish are also in different species. So the specific blobfish that are inside the car shells are the human type of blobfish in this world. So personally, that is how I think this goes down. So I think that cars are actually like blobfish type of creatures with no limbs or whatsoever for locomotion and just live. And because they can't live without any outer shell, because they can't move and they don't have any protection against natural stuff, because there aren't any predators, just natural stuff. Uh, So I think that that's how cars have their own shells. And that also explains how they reproduce. Like, I think that these blobfish like stuff lay eggs, and the blobfish part of them, through these, the eggs come out, and then from the eggs hatch little blobfish like cars. And then the parent cars order like parts like the outer shell for the car from a car factory somewhere, just like in the movie Robots, where the parents order their own kids. So I think that's how it happens. Like they have the car blobfish child, and then they put the shell on it. It's like the shells are like clothes, but not really. It's like skin. Yeah, like that. Like the blobfish is like a mess of blood vessels and stuff, and the shell is like the skin. So that explains them. And about commercial planes, which we can see can talk, so I think they are like like car blobfish, but in a plane shell. So I think they were born as cars, but they can temporarily take the plane form for their jobs. Same thing with boats, because otherwise it will be like really, really, really less privileged world, because like boats, trucks, monster trucks, buses, and planes can't really have the opportunities that cars do. So that's really unfair. So that's how I think that plays on. And yes, we are ignoring all of the plain movies because they completely disintegrate this theory. So I'm just not going to take the theory scene. Although it does say it's part of Cars, it isn't technically Pixar's Cars, it's Disney's Cars. And Disney and Pixar are different companies, so I'm not going to talk about planes here. And I will take a few stuff from planes, like the John Deere tractors, but not much, just that. And also about animals in this world, there are little beetles that actually represent beetles or flies or glowworms and that kind of thing. I think that's pretty funny. And yeah, so that is how I think it moves on. And also, I think for the animals, obviously, they can't order anything from the manufacturing company. So they just grow it on themselves, but the car versions of the blobfish aren't unable to. I don't know if you understand, it's really confusing, even for me. So, yeah, that is my theory about the organic stuff of cars. And this also begs the question, so there is a factory that makes cars and produces parts for cars. So then, is there like, are they humans or are they other aliens or other cars that are heads of this manufacturing company? So I personally think that there's a manufacturing company for each and every country or like neighboring countries. So they can produce their own cars for their own country. So, and I also think like the president and ministers and stuff of that country are in charge of that manufacturing company. And also, the manufacturer isn't God. I don't believe it because, like, although there are some stuff in the movie that say like thank the manufacturer, as in like a role play or showing humans saying thank the god, but saying thank god doesn't really prove that God exists or not. So that's not a valid argument. And I also think that cars in this movie are living in a parallel universe. And although they do live in a parallel universe, it is directly parallel to us. And the only thing different about this universe, it's more of mechanical than biological, but that's it. Like everything else is just mirroring us, except for flowers. Because although we can see trees, water, and rocks, grasslands, plains, that sort of thing, we only see flowers as mechanical. So I don't think these are mechanical. I think like flowers aren't made in this universe, and like in evolution, there's this theory that like plants grew from simple plants to non-flowering plants to flowering plants. So I think in the cast universe, the plants just stopped at non-flowering plants and they stopped evolution then. And then that begs the question, how do cars know about plants to make them mechanical? I think it's more of like their imagination than what, like, I think they just imagined it and just went with it. I don't have any other explanations. I'm not mad pet. So yeah, that's what I think of this cars theory. And moving on with the culture of cars, I think they also have the same culture as us, having different countries, that sort of thing. Because we can see like different nationalities in cars too, and also religions exist because we can see the Pope in cars too, and we can see the Queen. So political structure, religious structure, all of these are also the same as our universe. So yeah, that is the end of my cars theory. And if you liked it, you can press the like button. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.